We're back. We're part the second, or episode 9, part the second, should I say? Episode 9, a Gruul world, because it is a Gruul world. Being me, dealing with this lot.
Look at it from our side.
Sometimes. What do you mean, look at it from your side? I'm a benevolent dungeon master. Anyway, for YouTube, welcome back to part 2. For those of you on the stream, thanks for sticking with during the break. Let's get back into it as the second lunch begins. And we are having you guys sit back down with the hierarch, I believe.
I believe that's where we left off. Yeah,
Yep.
because he's waiting till after lunch to give us the.
Yes, because he needs to go access his records and things, and he doesn't want to leave the banquet, the midday meal. So, during this meal, are any of you engaging the hierarch in conversation? Or is this going to be one of those eating in silence kind of things?
I don't think I have too much to talk with the hierarch about. I think I've done a lot of talking. I think Ruric has been doing a lot of talking, so I'll leave it to the rest of the party.
Yeah, so this is pretty much your typical day, right?
Pretty much. The hunters tend to head out first light, if not before. Morning shift. Between Garden, the reclamation group, they head out. And we won't see the reclamation group until dinner time. But those stationed here at the house, we circle through, have a big lunchtime meal, big welcome back meal for the reclamation group in the best we can.
Not too bad. You guys, do you go into town very often?
Oh, yes. Be it for supplies, or to trade, or to send things into the city, or attend the taverns, or some of us have family that live in the cities. All of these people do not live in this house, for example.
Yeah, I would imagine. And yeah, so these guys are all pretty much acolytes then?
And above, yes.
Oh, okay. There's a few above. Okay. I mean,
We don't,
I don't know.
We don't have a standard Vidani structure out here, being not a Vidani. For example, if I were to travel into the town, to the Ecumenopolis, I may not exactly be a hierarch in there, but I have the title.
So, Ruric, you think you'd want to have this kind of life?
There's a lot to be said for the peace and tranquility out here. The hard work, but the fact that you can see progress every day, that's pretty nice. Some
Between
days,
that and the relatively calm nature, quite an idyllic place, really. Now.
So not too much conflict out here.
No, like I said, we leave the Gruul alone. They leave us.
I haven't seen too many of some of the other guilds around. They're not out here?
I mean, what is an Izzet going to do out here?
Lots of land.
Build a tower?
I know what this is going to do. Eat more food.
Very
As I
good
shall-
idea, my friend.
as I shove more of the salted nuts that I'm pretty sure that they have in my mouth.
Oh, a lot.
So cliche.
They're peanuts because you're an elephant. No.
I wasn't even thinking that, but there you go. Unintended jokes are always funny.
I mean, you're not going to get a whole lot of Izzet or Simic out here past vacation. I mean, there's no mutation vats. There's not a Zonot. There's no interest for the Golgari out here. The Dimir. There's not a whole lot of interest to them either, I would think. I mean, their job is information and trading. We're a fairly simple society out here. Grow things, we exist. I'm not sure what you would expect, really. Not like we fight them away when they get to the borders. I mean, if that was the case, 2 of the 4 of you would never have made it in.
It's true. It's just coming from a more urban location. It was just odd to see the occasional traveler, and that's about it.
A lot is odd about our way of life out here. Urban, like a lot.
Well, maybe that's something that would be interesting to write about.
Ask your
like
question.
For people looking for that kind of stuff.
Ask your questions.
Well, I mean, we do have quite a lot of it as far as your typical days and the kind of work you do. And
you've seen a typical day.
Yeah.
I've told you about the typical.
Yeah. And as long as you're not opposed to us writing it up, you know.
Wouldn't have given you the time of day if I weren't opposed to it.
You've been very accommodating to us, and we appreciate that.
Now, if I may, I'm an old man, relatively considered to most of the people around here. And I'm not... I wasn't born yesterday. I feel there is more to your journey tomorrow than a potential story for a news network that has barely gone than just noting about a fire.
No, I mean, I admit we came across the fire thing after we got here. We've been investigating other things, so I just didn't want to bore you with the details.
Such as?
We started off with a Rakdos circus. That was what we were covering. Things got crazy from there. We've been following leads.
At which point he kind of turns to look at Adelchi. And where do the night blooming Renzo flowers come in?
ER favors in exchange of favors.
Is that not always?
Indeed, it is always our way.
So what about night blooming? I'm going to, if you don't mind me laying out a hypothetical. I don't feel it was a coincidence you asked me.
No.
Now, I've given you the hospitality of my home and my table. I would appreciate that you give me honesty mission.
Well, as he said, it was a favor for a favor. We're trying to track down some so we can get some more information on something else. I mean, and our lead led us here.
You have a Selesnya among your number. One who lets on more, knows more than he lets on. I'm
And it's
sure
the first time I've ever been accused of that.
I'm sure he could have told you that the night blue Renzo flowers able to only be grown in the Undercity Ecumenopolis. If not, there was a very, very nearby Verdani that you could have accessed with his help. You didn't need to make a journey 13 plus hours outside of District 7 to come and ask me that question. You could have asked any acolyte within District 7 that question.
Well, as I said, the lead led us to Morrow, so that's where we are. Your name came up in our as we came here as someone who has a good deal of influence in the area. So it's we thought we would discuss things with you.
I notice you are phrasing things very carefully, my Dimir friend, which, while I do not deny is probably a trait of your guild, is there not more to this story?
Shall we, guys?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's time for honesty.
All right. We're
Unfortunately.
looking for someone or something named Morale who should have received a shipment of a dozen night blooming Renzos.
Morale.
Mm.
How did you buy the morale?
The grower of the flowers gave it to us. His name is Varus.
You say the word Varus and like 6 people look up. Varus is the equivalent of like John. And he nods. He's like, So what business do you have with Vindicator Morale of the
Gruul, huh? Again, we just want the flowers. We didn't even know who he was.
Apparently not. She is the leader of the local Gruul. About this time, the meal is winding down, and people are getting up and starting to mingle. At which point, the hierarch stands, and he's like, "Come with me." And he walks out and leads you further into the house, into a small, like, office study area. And some of his jovial nature has disappeared. Sit. Closes the door behind you, moves around the other side of the desks. You intend to battle with Morale.
If we must.
The Gruul and the Selesnya have an agreement. The Clan Zykor and I have an agreement. They leave us alone, and outside of when they perform, we leave them alone. If you do anything to jeopardize that, because I'm assuming you're traveling to the Gruul encampment, yes?
That'd be our next stop.
Yeah, that's that would be reasonable.
You know where it is?
Nope.
If you do anything to jeopardize the peace we've established here, well, you won't live to see the mistake that you cause, because the Gruul will kill you. And then they'll come and kill all of us.
Understood.
You will stay the night. In the morning, I will send a guide with you, take you out to the Gruul lands. Show you where to go, where to find the encampment. I suggest get a good night's rest. Once you venture beyond the sanctum, you are in the wild. Just sleep lightly. At watch. Careful. Plane of Ravnica. Experience. The Gruul are unlike anything experienced.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, absolutely. But may I ask how you came to the agreement?
Personal.
Fair enough.
But I'm sure if you brain, you. Assuming you actually get. I'm just.
Well, we do appreciate it.
Be honest with them. Don't lead them as you tried with me on a winding. Be honest and be direct.
I still
Anything
think the
else is
whole
likely
fire
to
in what
get
you're
you
working out
killed.
here will make a good story.
Anything else? Kill. I'll go. Enjoy the hospitalities of my home tomorrow until the morn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sits there and waits.
G'ing TFO. Yes.
Yes.
I imagine once we're out in the hallway, like beyond, his study or whatnot.
Yeah.
Did that go as well as we had planned? No plan. That's right. No plan.
Yeah, no plan. It's exactly as expected.
Well, we got the information we needed, but now it's
Are these
We
flowers
may or-
worth it? Do we care enough about what we're trying to find out about?
I mean,
So
at
we've
this
gone through a
point,
lot.
I mean, no.
So let me make sure I'm still on the same page because things have moved really quickly. So
Okay.
someone broke into our houses.
Yes.
We made a deal with the Orzhov to find out who broke into our houses.
Yes.
And in exchange for their future help, they wanted a dozen of these flowers. So then we went to the Undercity. And now we find ourselves here. And now we're going to go hang out with the Gruul, who probably want to kill us just because we smell funny. If we survive to ask them the questions of, can we have your prized flowers that are impossible to get? They'll probably
have
ask us
nothing
to
to
do
barter with.
something for them,
So it's a never-ending cycle.
at which time it'll be like 2 weeks since the thing happened, which means it'll be more difficult to use the divination magic, which means we'll have to do a different task, which means this news story is going to be never published in time for people to enjoy the circus.
I have a point of inspiration for that.
Thank you.
Ruric, that is surprisingly astute.
I just wanted to remember everything that was happening.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and there's no guarantee. Even if we get the flowers and get back to, the oligarch, there's no guarantee we're gonna find out anything. We've gotten to the point where we're risking our necks for a side tangent.
But what's our lead if we don't get this information? If we don't get this information, all we know is someone broke into our room. We still don't know who murdered the acrobat. The acrobat's brother and husband are still mad at us, and we almost burnt down the spa for nothing.
But you also have to look on the other hand, as we've unfortunately gotten into a contract with the Orzhov. So that has to be resolved any way, shape, or form, or else we're boned.
Adelchi, would
Wasn't
you
it
like
more-
the counterpoint?
Wasn't it more of a bring me the flowers and I'll give you I'll allow you the magic rather than?
I still think we've entered a contract, so we're going to be boned if we don't complete said contract. So it's either one of two things: we die, or guess what? We die.
and
So-
end up in
No,
servitude
it's
forever.
we die or worse.
Yes.
Orzhov senses activate.
Uh-huh.
Is the implication which side or does would Adelchi know that we have fallen in on? Is this a bound contract that come hell or high water we must bring these night blooming Renzos to the oligarch, or if we don't, there's no breach of contract. If we don't show up, we just don't get the thing we have asked for.
Roll me a
Oh no.
roll me a religion check at advantage,
Nice.
given that it is your religion.
15.
Had you been dealing with a bureaucrat of your stature, a bureaucrat, it may just have been a favor for a favor. And had you not brought back the flowers, then no problem. However, not only are you dealing with an oligarch, you are dealing with a vampiric oligarch who you have also, I hasten to remind you, met her father and walked out on him.
Very politely.
We did sort of say, let us go talk about this, and then ran out of his house.
Yeah, we pieced out on him.
So there's this moment of them talking about, well, we could just not go and get the flowers. And in your head, all you're hearing is the Star Trek red alert noise. like Data has pressed the button, the sirens are blaring, like Crichton is making sure that they don't want to upgrade to a red alert because he's gonna have to change the bulb.
Okay. Yeah, no. No, we need to at least follow through on part of this. Namely, follow through on getting the flowers for the oligarch. And then we can put all of this nightmare behind us.
You can also, Jordan, at this point, roll me another.
14.
The contract as it is that you have entered into is a fairly loose one that is open to interpretation. Not that that's always good around the Orzhov.
Yeah.
However, there was... How do I put this? There are ways that you could get around this without visiting the Gruul. And that's all I'll say. If you as a player come up with one, then good for you. But your brain is tickling you that you could probably find a loop.
We could go beat up the hippie flower merchant. Who's your supplier? Who's your
We already
supplier?
know his supplier. We talked to his supplier, and his
True.
supplier now has no more supply.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
Could write a nice note to her oligarch daddy and say, "Send your daughter your flowers." It would be nice if you.
Yeah, but we would be literally swapping the devil for the witch because we'd have to enter a contract with him for him to send his over to her, and then we'd have to do whatever he wants,
Yeah.
which may or may not be bad, but I'd rather stray on the side of bad.
Yeah.
I'm actually sort of interested in seeing what the Gruul lands look like.
I mean, if they don't kill us on sight.
Well, they'd have to go through me first. This armor isn't just for show. I mean, the only time we've gotten hurt is when I wasn't wearing it, so I'm not taking this off.
I mean, you're not wrong.
That is a true statement.
The only time you haven't gotten it. All right. Well, I could use a rest. Let's get us some sleep. And
It's like 2:00 in the afternoon, my dude.
It's just after lunch.
It's just after lunch. Well, we're staying the night here.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's. If we can think of something better, Take some time, think about it.
I have an idea. Since it's the early afternoon, let's head back to town. Let's hit the tavern up. Maybe we can figure out some things. Maybe, I don't know. And then we can always just head back after, like, before sun goes down.
See if anyone else has any advice for dealing with the Gruul, or if they even know the Gruul are around.
Exactly.
That oddly makes a decent amount of sense.
And we can all go and get a pint.
This is yeah.
And if nothing else, we can get very, very drunk. That way, going to the Gruul lands may not seem.
I was going to say there's nothing better for walking into a dangerous situation than a roaring hangover.
Liquid courage.
Yeah.
So for all we know, being hungover might actually make the Gruul. No, that's the Rakdos. Never mind.
Yeah.
Does anyone recall? I know the explosion just damaged Varys's greenhouse, but does anybody recall what the specific problem was as far as rebuilding and growing more flowers?
All I know is they're extremely difficult to do, and they have to have specific conditions. So that greenhouse, unfortunately, was the perfect conditions for him to grow said flowers.
Recreating those conditions would be
but a greenhouse,
difficult.
a greenhouse can be rebuilt.
Yeah, but how long would it take for those flowers to grow?
That's the issue, is the time. But these, how quickly have they regrown this forest here?
Well,
They've
it's
been
taken
at
them
it for
10
10
years to
years.
get this far.
10 years.
But
you're talking entire forest, whereas we're talking the scale of some flowers. Is there Selesnya ability to cultivate those flowers in a faster amount of time, and if the conditions are
Well, here's the only thing about that is
roll me a
yes,
nature.
probably.
Hang on. Roll me a nature check. Poetics.
me or Ruric.
Oh, I was just answering just regardless, and then my answer probably won't change regardless of the nature check, which is probably a good thing because my nature check is 4, so I don't even want to know the answer. I'm probably just going to say yes.
I was going to go about and say you would have to have from what the what's the guy's name, the
Hierarch.
Oh, yeah.
So you would have to have a piece of the flower to be able to get more flowers.
Well, the seeds would be necessary.
So if I can simplify this for a moment, what I'm thinking that Zimzix is suggesting is that you travel back to District 7, you get some druids from the Selesnya and Verdani, you take them to the Undercity, you introduce them to Varys, and you get them to induce Varys's flowers. Right?
We help
Sounds about
rebuild.
right.
We help rebuild the greenhouse. Actually, I was kind of thinking Ruric, but maybe some of that orange sparkly stuff.
See, because what I was thinking you were suggesting was we go to the Gruul, and instead of saying, "Please, sir, can I steal all your flowers?" we merely say, "Can I have a seed?"
Okay.
And
or a flower petal.
That is
Yeah,
a much
just a bit,
easier
yeah.
ask than, hey,
Than the whole
that thing you went
flowers.
through all this trouble to go get and there aren't any more of, we need them all.
I'm that would be all right too, as long as they allow us in long enough to talk to them.
Yeah. I think either plan has merit.
One's more dangerous than the other. One
True.
is for sure to get us murdered.
I
Very
wouldn't say for
painfully.
sure. The other one isn't a guarantee of success.
I don't think either of them are a guarantee of success.
That's true.
But no, I mean, if you think if there's a chance that we can get in and actually talk to the Gruul, I'm fine with just getting a piece of the flowers.
I think if we go in to the Gruul and we say, all we're looking for is these flowers. The sources in the Undercity have all been blown up. We're not looking to interfere. Yes or no? I mean, that he said be very straight with them, and I think that's as straight as we can be.
I guess.
I'm just sitting back and letting y'all discuss this. So
I don't know. I just
this is the part of DMing that's easy.
Yeah. I mean, we can, if we get enough, we can give some back to Varys, and again, I'm happy to help him rebuild that greenhouse. Yeah.
Well,
maybe not right now, but
I mean, I just want to find out who broke into my yoga studio and messed up all my training dummies.
Give me another nature check, Poetics.
3.
Okay.
At least it's not me this week.
I've rolled a 2 and a 1 on these nature checks. That's awesome. It makes up for the 20s I was rolling earlier. So I mean,
so Gruul lands?
I think the Gruul lands would be quicker, but more dangerous. Helping Varys out has a smaller chance of success and takes longer, but is much less dangerous unless we unexpectedly grow some snapdragons or something.
I don't know about you, but talking to Varys might be dangerous for me.
Oh, I'll have my armor on.
I mean, you don't have to necessarily be in the area. You can be rebuilding the greenhouse while we talk to Varys. Just don't blow anything up.
He could be right outside in case we needed something blown up. The signal will be us screaming loudly.
Well, the point is, I think first stop
artillery support.
Yeah.
Nice. Howitzer cannon, aka fireball.
But what you're saying is we still need some of the flour, some portion of the flour, even if we help Varys.
Well, ideally we would need the seeds.
Yeah, I can't imagine you wouldn't still have some. It blew up the greenhouse, not necessarily everything inside.
So,
but I mean, I don't have an objection of going to the Gruul lands if that's going to be a guarantee of us getting enough of what we need. Guarantee, loose term.
Clang.
Yeah.
I think it's the best shot we have, but planning isn't my department. I leave that to you two.
Adelchi and Augustus, roll me. All right, I'm gonna tell you what I'm looking for, and you can pitch me a skill as to why you think that is applicable. Roll me a thinking about things logically check.
Thinking about things logically check?
Yes.
I almost want to say survival.
For an Izzet, that might be a case.
For the Izzet, that's probably accurate.
Yeah.
The wisdom of how to connect socket A into slot B.
Right.
As unconventional as it may be, investigation almost feels, because it's about connecting dot A to dot. It's not just can I pick up what's being put down, but it's also can I connect point A to point B to point C back to point A.
Right. Jordan, you can roll me investigation. Jamie, you can roll me survival.
Awesome.
Your boy rolled himself a nice fat 21.
21. From your reaction, Jordan.
Hey, if you have inspiration, you can use it.
Exactly.
You have a point of inspiration according to my notes.
Even at because I helped with the recap.
Yep.
Let's try this again.
Okay.
All right, roll number 1 was an 8,
Yep.
which means I rolled a 1 on it. Roll number 2 was a
Wait,
9.
you have a -7?
I have a +7.
Oh, 8 total.
And roll number 2, I got a total of 9.
Right.
Hey, sometimes it's just that +1 that matters.
Sure.
Right, so according to my current standings, right, Aimee, Poetics, and Jamie all have inspiration, and doesn't. 'Cause he's been here. Right.
Jordan does nothing but spend all of his inspiration lately.
Augustus,
Yes.
you are sitting around this beautiful druidic Selesnyan sanctum having a conversation about what it could possibly take and what you would need to cast a spell regrowing flowers that you have seen people in this sanctum cast.
Are like for me to actually cast it, or
No, but the point being, you
I
are
was about to
looking
say.
for information and you are having
so-
this debate about, well, I don't know what the fuck we need. And Ruric's like, bah, and and Zimzix is, can I stab it? And Jordan's like, is it in my book? And all of you are completely fucking lost in the middle of this Selesnyan conclave.
Oh, okay. Yo, hey, we're being stupid. Why don't we just ask people around us? There are people who are growing. Like, I don't think it would be hard to ask somebody.
There's the reclamation dinner coming up.
Exactly.
There's still some people. Oh, wait, no. There's still some people at lunch. We left early.
There's not only people at lunch, but there's the people who were working this morning who aren't on duty right now.
Yes, let's talk to them. Let's talk to the people that were working in the morning and that are off now because they don't have anything to do. Well, they probably have stuff to do. But, however, we can still talk to them and get an idea about how said magic could and should work. Like, do we need a seed? Do we need just a piece? Do we need a thorn? You know, do we,
How fast does it work? Excuse me. Yeah, let's go talk to him. I imagine Ruric is going to have to take the lead on this because
Yes,
they didn't really
please.
want to talk to me.
Okay.
You know what we need, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go with you. We'll be there. But they'll talk to you.
Okay. Sounds like that's the plan.
So I'm assuming that you guys were having this conversation in like an out of the way place, right?
Like
In the hallway between
in the
office
hallway out, past
Just
the...
you were just having a conversation in the hallway.
That's kind of where Ruric stopped them to have the conversation.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that we were far enough away from the office and
Wait,
everything.
but it is a busy sanctum.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I just didn't want to interrupt like the hierarch stuff.
Okay.
'cause we already kind of ticked them off.
I'm pretty sure well, never mind. I was about to say something stupid. I was about to say
I
I'm pretty
imagine
sure
at least one or two
nobody's paying
people
attention to us.
overheard.
4 people or 3 people that are not in the same guild that are in the
Two
Selesnyan.
of which are of guilds that aren't around here.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, nobody's paying attention to us.
Well, I mean, we weren't talking about anything that was really top secret anyway.
No, but you were doing
I
it in the
mean-
middle of a hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least you could have been walking and talking like Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have been saying like it's like in high school or something. We stop in the middle of a busy hallway to talk about something personal. The
Yeah.
entire school's gonna know about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you make your way out of the hallway back into like the sanctum at large. The lunch has kind of died down, right? Everyone is about their business at this point, or they're relaxing. You make your way back out into the grounds, out the back door, onto that deck stroke gazebo stroke gathering zone. And again, there's a few people there. Some are reading, some are just enjoying the view, some are meditating, some are plinking away at music, others are working in the grounds.
I'm gonna try to walk up to someone who I recognized as having been working this morning.
Roll me a recognizing people from earlier this morning check.
Yeah, that's I think that's gonna be an insight. You know,
Okay.
people who are definitely tired from work and who are trying to enjoy their relaxation that we're about to go interrupt. I'm rolling like fire. That was 5 total.
You don't
Anyone will do.
spot anyone specifically that you saw this morning.
Short answer, anyone will do. I think that's a good answer. Yeah. Honestly, I think as we get out towards the gazebo, he will turn to the first person he sees, like the nearest person.
Okay. So as you're
Maybe not the musicians, because we know that they were like doing their thing earlier, and maybe this is a new crop of musicians doing their thing. So
you would also know that those musicians are probably the musicians you saw before lunch are probably working the grounds.
that's fair. That's fair. So someone other than the musicians
Okay.
is who I will approach.
So the very first person you see.
Yeah.
Roll some dice here. Okay, so the first thing you do is you walk out of the doors, and there's like a couple of people who are literally sweeping like leaves off the
Mm-hmm. They're doing grounds work. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
there's like a young female elf and a I'm gonna go ahead and say there's like weirdly a Vidalkin. Not that you see many of those in this.
I actually don't know what a Vidalkin is.
They're the blue. Okay, then points at D&D Beyond at the book I shared with you.
I will. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I'll approach him with all of the confidence of a 3-year-old holding a candy bar, saying, "I want this."
Okay, so you just stride on up to them.
Yep. Making no. I am obviously heading directly to them, and I'm going to ask them, or I'm going to greet them by way of the Selesnyan equivalent of "Hey, sup." Like almost too familiar.
What do you think the Selesnyan equivalent of "sup" is?
A joyous afternoon to you, brother, or something like that.
Okay. And as you approach and you give that greeting, they both stop what they're doing and give you a bit of a more formal bow. What can we do for you, brother?
I had a question about the work you do here. because it is so unique compared to where I come from.
You do not tend the grounds where you come from?
Oh, that's most of what we do. I mean, reclaiming and rebuilding the forest.
Ah.
If there has been a small spot of land that perhaps, and I will sort of look meaningfully over at our Loxodon friend, someone may have, well, we have a need to grow things quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And the wonders I've seen here would be amazing if we could replicate that elsewhere. What do you need to be able to do that?
Do you not have druids in the city?
Well, we do, but they're mainly focused, the big parts. They're less concerned with the small patches in the city themselves. They're tending to make sure that the city doesn't encroach on the big stuff.
Well, you'd need a druid. And a seed of what you wanted to grow, be it grass, flower, tree.
Oh, so we could grow almost anything.
With the right magic, yes.
Oh. So like if it used to be an oak tree, we could plant a cypress instead and grow that.
If you had a sapling.
That's amazing.
Would the conditions matter? Okay.
You're not going to be able to grow something that's temperate in a water environment, for example.
Yeah, it has to want to grow. I mean, of course.
Okay. Yeah. Need to know these things.
You're not going to be able to grow, say, fungus, other things that thrive in the dark, in bright light.
Okay.
That's amazing. I thought it would be both more and less complicated.
It's simple druidic magic.
Well,
are you sure you grew up on the Vidani?
I've spent a very long time outside of the Verdani, trying to take care of those few, I can't even call them wild spaces anymore, those few areas of growth out in the big cities.
Poor soul. Must be so distant from the world soul.
To them, the fact that I can call on the kinds of magic that I can is amazing. When I come to a place like this, I feel very small because I look at what is possible.
No. So small?
Sometimes.
Truly forgot. Remember, each and every one of us within the Conclave connected to Gazi, the world soul. And no matter where we are on Ravnica, we are part of its whole.
It's
There's
one
a mystical
thing
energy field that binds us all together. It penetrates us.
It's one thing to
That we're
to
never
know
going
it.
to explain with fucking midichlorians.
It's one thing to know it and to believe it, but it's another thing to feel it. And coming back to places like this rekindle that feeling, and it makes me recognize its absence sometimes.
Perhaps when you return to the speak to your Oda about turning to
That would be a nice recentering. Thank you for all the good work you do here and for all the help. Not just for this place, but for me.
Our pleasure. One of the good things about living in a place. And while this is coming from while the fire was a tragedy, it allowed us certain freedoms that others don't.
I don't understand.
Look at you. Your father was Selesnya, I assume? Mother?
Yes.
And the generation before that?
Yes.
Before that?
On through the ages, yeah.
My father was Azorius.
Mm.
My mother's a Boros. We aren't tied down by lineage. I got to choose to become Selesnya.
Mhm.
That wasn't chosen for me. You, I apologize. I'm not as familiar with the titles. I believe you're a bureaucrat.
Mm-hmm.
Your family, Orzhov in Perpetua.
Yes. In fact, my great grandfather is the one who oversaw my initial acolyte training. My great grandfather, just twisted old soul, literally. Respect.
And you, Loxodon, how long have your family been making devices, tinkering?
For a long time.
And you, man who carries cameras, how long have your family?
First generation, man. Goblins don't tend to like the, I joined early in my life.
Your family wasn't Dimir?
Nope.
What was your family?
They didn't belong to a guild.
Oh, guildless. Interesting. Well, one of the lucky. Go ask people in the city. Even amongst your own group here, 3/4 of you are legacy. As I said, the fact that so many died that day, tragic. But it allowed Morrow to have certain. And it's quite clear. Folks around.
Thank you. I hadn't considered that.
I did not wish Brass and Emery dead. To use a euphemism I once heard, every cloud has a silver. Especially the ones of it.
Thank you. I think that gives hopefully all of us a lot to think about.
Well, then I will return to my duty today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
point, they totter off and start heading to the grounds again.
Mhm.
All right. So we need a seed, the conditions, and a druid to grow it. The druid's the hard part, unless you can learn something real quick overnight.
Oh, wait, time out. I don't think the druid's the hard part.
Druid's not the hard part.
Yeah,
The seed
getting the
and-
seed is the hard part,
And the
the
conditions.
The conditions.
Well, we can't guarantee whether or not Varys has any seeds left. Though, wasn't his partner some sort of magic user? Were they a druid? I don't even remember.
No, there was a law mage.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
I really hope this is in character, Aimee.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right, so we can't guarantee that Varys has any seeds, so we're gonna have to probably go to the Gruul. And
Well, wait a
see
minute.
what we can get, unless you know where to get them.
If there's no way to send like a letter there in enough time, because there's no, obviously we're out in the middle of nowhere, so it'd be basically snail mail. So
They would be, a letter would be able to get there
When you
in about
say
the same amount of time we would.
hang on a minute. When you say there, where are you talking about?
back to the flower, not the flower grower, the actual the florist, the guy who was high.
Cool.
Wow.
I'm not denying it at this point.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the Undercity, regardless of who we sent a letter to.
Yeah. So it would take us more time to go back and ask than to go forward and not die.
Augustus and Adelchi. Augustus, roll me Arcana. Adelchi, roll me
12.
Adelchi.
9.
All right. You feel like there is a magical solution to that question.
Couldn't we find a mage in town to see if they could? I don't know. And I to be able to send something to someone fast, like what would be the easiest? Well, there has to be an easy magical solution to this. Adelchi, I'm deferring to you because you're the documenter here, so you might have a easier solution than I would when it comes to just blowing things up.
Weirdly, I don't have sending as a spell.
Can
But
you
it is
do
possible.
third level spells?
I can do third level spells.
In the priest list?
Oh, sending. Yeah, okay, there it is. Sending's a third level spell, really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because the range is unlimited.
Hmm.
It can even travel to other planes of existence.
Ooh.
What's the cantrip version of it then?
You are looking at message.
Okay.
Which
That's
has like
what I
a
was looking
30-foot range.
Yeah, it's hey.
It's basically designed for you to be like, dude, check your tongue, dude. It's really hot.
I mean, I can. I can send him. I can send a sending
I mean, that might be easier.
in the morning.
In the morning.
Well, you were planning to stay here overnight anyway.
Yeah. So before we leave,
I hold up the book of scrolls and documents and point sending spell here, not up here just yet.
I don't know.
Need my great aunt's second cousin twice removed to come tell me how to cast sending overnight.
All right. So what do we want to say? Ask them what they have available. Is that what we're
ask if they have the seeds?
Wait, how how does it actually work? Is it like do you have to know the person, or have met the person? Oh, well then at that point we might as well just send it directly to the dude. Hey, dude.
Yeah.
Varys. Yeah.
All right.
And basically, is it an unlimited amount of words that you can send, or is it a
25.
certain amount? 25.
And can they reply?
And they get one 25-word response.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, then sure. At that point, then we just send, hey, were any of the night blooming Renzo seeds destroyed when your greenhouse went kabloom?
Oh, not even that. Yeah, do you still have seeds for the night blooming Renzo? We can help you grow more or something.
Oh yeah, that too.
Do you still have seeds of the night blooming Renzo? We or we think we have.
Well,
We may be able to help.
We have
a way to help you regrow your stock. 6 words left.
I mean, that seems
thanks in advance.
Much obliged.
Yes.
RNN crew.
Yes.
Well, you don't have to identify yourself, because if
Yeah.
they will recognize
Yeah. It's almost it's almost like a video chat of my face in their head.
Yeah.
Of the message. Your holo communicator is beeping.
Yeah.
Ignore.
The rest of my party can't see it because we're not in a phase, but
Fuck, it's Reg Barkley again with his hologram hooker.
Stupid holiday. That's a Star Wars The Old Republic joke. You want to know more about that? Tune in on Tuesday evenings.
Well, we're done with that planning.
Doesn't mean we're done with
Star Wars. All right. So in the morning, that message will get sent.
Yep.
I think that's our plan moving forward is to see whether or not that is a viable avenue. And if so, well, then we have 2 options. If it's not, well, then we still have the 1 option.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Probably have to hire a druid back in Undercity, but
True.
That should be
I
handy.
mean, you know.
Oh no!
Excuse me.
Fuck! Shit! Balls! Oh wow!
What's wrong, Jordan?
Something you want to add?
No. In order to do sending, I
If
have
you
to
do
take
oh
out-
shit fuck balls, you've still got 2 words left.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just looking at my spell preparation list, and the only 3rd level spell I can use to replace with sending is Spirit Guardians. I don't want it.
Mm.
Yeah, Spirit Guardians is so nice.
It
Yeah.
is. But we
Well,
haven't had
hopefully
enough
we don't get in a
combat for it
fight.
to be worth
Yeah, while going into the Gruul lands.
If we go. I mean, if we get back a response, then we won't have to go.
Maybe.
Exactly.
Assuming
A
it's an
positive
affirmative
response.
response.
Right.
So,
It's going to take 2 days for us to get to the Gruul heads, guys, because once we're done with sending, I need my Spirit Guardians back.
There you go. We'll just walk slow. After the guide leaves us, we'll camp. And
And don't forget, I do have alarms, so it sets a perimeter around us in case anything creepy crawly happens.
all right.
So we have our plan of action, I think, and
Yeah.
our message.
you have your plan of action. You have your message set,
Mm-hmm.
and we will send it at the beginning of 2022.
Ooh.
Hey.
Because we're going to call today's mission to a close. Today's session to a close. Part 2 is running about right at this point. And to go any further would be to stop for like a month in the middle of anything. So we will send that message in our first episode 2022, because we're going to take the rest of December off for the holidays.
Indeed.
That being said, thank you all for watching. And we'll go around, hear a little bit about where everybody can find you. Let's start with rolls of d4. Poetics.
The only place you can find me online, except for the occasional Sunday here on 321, is poeticsonline.net, where I do a lot of writing about the world, about technology, about games, and so on and so forth. So if you're interested in that kind of longer form content, please go ahead and check out poeticsonline.net.
Aimee.
You can find me all over the place at lots of different names. I do Teamwork Tuesdays. Sorry, branding isn't a thing.
It's really fucking useful. I'm all over the place and I'm different fucking shit.
I'm getting to it. You can find me on this channel on Tuesdays and every other Sunday, except for the next couple of weeks, working with these guys for Teamwork Tuesday. I have my own stream channel, which is Maven Maverick, and you can find me on the Twitters at child_AK, which is mostly writing stuff, and also on Facebook as NovaCoML.
Jamie, where can people find you?
You can find me Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on my Twitch channel. That is twitch.tv/Silverwolf with an E24. You can find me on Twitter at Sir Dr. JC Sterling as well. And we just posted a new video for Delta Wrestling Alliance on their YouTube channel, Delta Wrestling Alliance. You know, just type it in the search bar, you'll find it. I mean, I think that's about it. Also, I've planted the seeds. Hopefully, they will grow into fruition. I am trying to do the main events for CEO. That is community effort Shit, I forgot the rest of it. Basically, they do.
It's a great way to start planting the seeds.
Yeah, I know.
I'm doing the thing. It's great.
Hey, I'm trying to do announcing for esports fighting games. So there's a little small group in around here where I live called Small Town Gaming. They're going to be doing majors next year in November. So as long as everything works out, I might be their top 8. I might be going through and announcing each player and a little bit about themselves when they come down.
Lovely. Jordan, where can people find you?
You can find me right here at 321_TV on Twitch. Also on Facebook at 321 TV page and on the Twitters at 321 Podcast. We are here basically every Tuesday for Teamwork Tuesdays, in which we do co-op adjacent online game with Bob, Amy, and myself. Right now we're playing Star Wars with the Old Republic, which mostly involves Amy misaligning her sweeping blasters, me picking up the heavy work, and Bob doing drum solos. Even in the middle of his own phases.
Me slash dancing while those two kill everything.
Yeah.
Even in my own story phases.
Yeah, exactly. As we sort of alluded to earlier, we finished Nar Shaddaa this past week, so we are moving on to.
We're going to do our interstitial things because each of us has like a between planet thing to go do. Then we are moving to the desert planet, Tatooine.
Weirdly enough, still a more interesting planet than Terrace.
No sick jumps.
You say that, but there is literally a mission there's a heroic mission in that on Tatooine where the easiest way to complete it is jump in the Sarlacc pit.
Okay. A sick jump.
True story. Still lots of canyons on Tatooine. Anyway, I digest. So yeah, back here for Teamwork Tuesdays, we'll probably keep that up. Going at least one more week before we take our holiday break from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually, we might be able to get 2 more weeks in before our holiday break.
Anyway,
with that,
we'll try.
As for me, you can find me on Twitter at BobTGoldfish. You can find me here doing the Teamwork Tuesday things on Tuesday. You can find my podcasty stuff over at thxdhockey.com /Awesomania for the wrestling podcast that I do. Basically me, my friend Michael, and one guest sitting down. Watch through a WWE pay-per-view and kind of riff on it as we go. It's designed to be watched alongside the pay-per-view. It's kind of like a riff tracks thing, but it's mainly just an excuse for me to sit down with my friends and watch wrestling. This week we did this month we did 2 episodes we missed last month. We did Survivor Series 1996 and in House 12. It's time. Tune in to see what we thought about those. And at thxdhockey.com/VFTG, Voices from the Grid, the Power Rangers podcast that I am part of. Release new episodes every Wednesday as of time of recording. Take a small break after season 2 is done. It's season 3, which we are currently recording. Yeah, that's about it. Jordan, do you have a raid target?
I do. I think we're going to go back like we did last week to Live from the Apocalypse, where our friend Rouge is playing some Powered by the Apocalypse space shenaniganry.
Ooh. So, that being said, it has been a long road. I nearly started the lyrics to Enterprise there, but I'm not going to do that. It has been 2 whole episodes of traveling tomorrow to only get tomorrow to find out that they didn't need to come tomorrow. Or did they? We'll find out next time. That being said, we will leave you as we always do. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Words of the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. Be excellent to each other. Party on, non-gender specific honorifics. We'll see you
next time.
Peace.
Peace.